Alright, Liverpool fans, good morning. Today I've got 3 massive stories about our beloved Reds that you absolutely need to hear. A Brighton defender has caught our attention and could be heading to Anfield. Liverpool have found Salah's replacement, and it's going to cost us a fortune. There's breaking news about our defensive planning that nobody saw coming involving Jarell Quansah. Let's dive straight in. News 1. Sources close to Anfield confirm that the club's scouting network has been working overtime, and what I discovered about our defensive targets will genuinely surprise you. Word from inside the AXA training center suggests that 3 major Premier League clubs are locked in a battle for one of the most promising centre-backs in the division. The competition is fierce, the stakes are high, and Liverpool are right in the thick of it. But here's where it gets interesting. This isn't just any ordinary transfer saga. According to reliable information I've managed to gather, the defender in question has already turned down multiple approaches from interested parties. Team Talk are reporting that Brighton and Hove Albion have been fielding serious inquiries, but their stance remains firm. They are not letting their prized asset go easily. However, whispers around the football community suggest that the player himself might be getting restless, particularly with Champions League football calling his name. The defender we're talking about is none other than Jan Paul van Hecke, Brighton's 25-year-old Dutch international who has been nothing short of exceptional. Want to know what's got Liverpool, Tottenham, and Newcastle all scrambling for his signature? Van Hecke isn't your typical centre-back. He's got that rare combination of pace, aerial dominance, and ball-playing ability that modern football demands. The lad made 34 league appearances last season and was instrumental in Brighton's impressive campaign. But here's where the story takes a fascinating turn. From what I'm hearing, Van Hecke is starting to feel that he's outgrown the Seagulls. Brighton have done brilliantly with him, no question about that. But the pool of Champions League football is becoming impossible to ignore. Sources are suggesting that he's been dropping hints about wanting to test himself at the highest level, and that's exactly where Liverpool come into the picture. The truth is, Arne Slot has been quietly building his wish list for defensive reinforcements, and Van Hecke ticks every single box. The Dutch connection certainly doesn't hurt either. Slot knows exactly what the player brings to the table, having worked extensively in Dutch football. What's more, Van Hecke's style of play would slot seamlessly into Liverpool's system. He's comfortable stepping out from the back, his distribution is crisp, and crucially, he's got the mental strength to handle the pressure that comes with playing at Anfield. Meanwhile, the competition for his signature is intensifying by the day. Tottenham see him as a perfect partner for their defensive rebuild, while Newcastle view him as a statement signing that would signal their continued ambition. However, Liverpool's advantage lies in their current trajectory and the promise of consistent Champions League football. Brighton's valuation is rumored to be somewhere in the region of £40 to £50 million, which in today's market represents decent value for a player of Van Hecke's caliber and potential. But wait until you hear what's coming next in terms of our attacking reinforcements. News 2. I can reveal that Liverpool's succession planning for one of their most crucial positions has reached an advanced stage, and the target they've identified will absolutely blow your minds. The Liverpool Echo and several other reliable sources are indicating that the club have been conducting extensive background work on a player who could revolutionize our forward line. This isn't just wishful thinking. There's a serious, concrete interest from the highest levels of the club. The player in question is Michael Olise, Bayern Munich's 23-year-old winger who has been lighting up the Bundesliga since his move from Crystal Palace. According to the Daily Mail, Liverpool have identified him as a long-term successor to Mohamed Salah, and frankly, it makes perfect sense. Want to know what's got FSG and the recruitment team so excited? Olise's numbers from last season are absolutely staggering. 34 direct goal contributions in 48 matches across the Bundesliga and Champions League. That's the sort of productivity you simply can't ignore. Here's where things get really interesting though. Salah will turn 34 next year, and while he's still performing at an elite level, the club are being proactive about planning for the future. Sources close to the situation suggest that Olise has been specifically earmarked as a player who possesses the right combination of pace, creativity, and goal threat to eventually fill that void. The lad's versatility is another massive plus. He can operate on either flank or even centrally, giving Slot tactical flexibility that could prove invaluable. However, there's a significant obstacle standing in Liverpool's way, and it's one that will test FSG's commitment to backing their manager. Bayern Munich are reportedly demanding somewhere in the region of €100 million for Olise's services. That's a hefty price tag by anyone's standards, but when you consider what elite wingers are going for in today's market, it's perhaps not as outrageous as it first appears. The question is whether Liverpool are prepared to make that sort of investment. What's particularly encouraging about this pursuit is the timing. Rather than waiting until Salah's form drops off or his contract situation becomes critical, Liverpool are planning ahead. This is exactly the sort of strategic thinking that successful clubs employ. Olise's recent form has been exceptional. He's already scored 3 goals in the new Bundesliga season, including a crucial strike in Bayern's 3-2 victory over Augsburg at the weekend. The French international represents everything modern football is moving towards: pace, direct running, exceptional close control, and crucially, the ability to deliver in big moments. His experience at Crystal Palace proved he could handle the intensity of Premier League football, while his move to Bayern has shown he can thrive on the biggest stage. Some say it's exactly what Liverpool need for the future. Others reckon the price tag is simply too steep. But those who understand football know that players of Olise's quality don't come around very often. And another twist. There's growing speculation that Salah himself might be open to exploring new opportunities in the coming years, particularly with interest from Saudi Arabia remaining strong. If that scenario materializes, having Olise already in place could prove to be a masterstroke of planning. Think that's ambitious? Then wait until you hear about our defensive strategy for the next 3 years. News 3. Behind closed doors at the AXA Training Center, Liverpool's long-term planning has reached a level of sophistication that will leave you absolutely speechless. The Daily Mail have uncovered details about a defensive strategy that goes far beyond typical transfer planning. And what I'm about to reveal shows just how seriously the club are taking their succession planning. This isn't just about buying players. This is about securing Liverpool's defensive future for the next decade. The story centers around Jarell Quansah, the 21-year-old centre-back who left Liverpool for Bayer Leverkusen this summer in a £35 million deal. Most supporters thought that was the end of the story, but I've managed to confirm that there's far more to this situation than meets the eye. Lewis Steele in the Daily Mail has revealed that Liverpool have already agreed personal terms with Quansah for potential return, should they exercise their €60 million buyback clause in 2027. Want to know why this is such a big deal? It's all about Virgil van Dijk's future. Sources within the club suggest that the Dutch captain will most probably be leaving when his contract expires in 2027, by which time he'll be approaching his 36th birthday. Rather than scrambling for replacements at the last minute, Liverpool have been planning this transition for years. The Quansah situation is just one piece of an incredibly complex puzzle. Here's where the story gets even more fascinating. The club have also been monitoring the development of Giovanni Leoni, the 18-year-old Italian defender they signed from Parma. The lad has been progressing so rapidly that he's already earned his first call-up to Italy's senior national team. Meanwhile, there's still confidence at Anfield that Marc Guéhi will eventually join from Crystal Palace, despite this summer's failed pursuit. But the masterstroke is a Quansah arrangement. By selling him to Leverkusen, Liverpool achieved multiple objectives simultaneously. They received £35 million in transfer fees. They ensured Quansah would get regular first-team football at the highest level, and crucially, they maintained control over his future. The pre-agreed personal terms mean there will be no complications if they decide to bring him back. From what I'm hearing, this level of forward planning extends throughout the squad. With Ibrahima Konate's contract running until 2026 and his future uncertain, plus Joe Gomez having come close to leaving in recent transfer windows, the defensive department needs careful management. Everyone's got an opinion about whether this approach is genius or overly complicated, but anyone who understands modern football knows that this sort of strategic thinking is essential. The situation becomes even more intriguing when you consider Arne Slot's tactical preferences. The Dutch manager values defenders who can play out from the back and contribute to build-up play, exactly the sort of attributes that made Quansah such a promising prospect in the first place. By 2027, should he return, Quansah would arrive as a mature, experienced defender ready to step into a leadership role. Meanwhile, this layered approach to squad planning demonstrates Liverpool's evolution under FSG's ownership. The days of reactive transfer strategies are firmly behind us, replaced by a sophisticated system that anticipates future needs years in advance. Some reckon it's a perfect way to maintain continuity. Others worry about putting too much faith in young players. But the fan base is divided on whether this represents progress or unnecessary complexity. And you, Liverpool fans, what do you think of today's news? Share your honest opinion in the comments. We want to hear from you.
Subscribe to our channel, like it so you don't miss the latest news in real time from your favorite club. Until the next video.